Alright, and we're back here. We're going to go into a little bit of a build mode tutorial. It's going to go over the features that you're going to use most while using build mode. A later tutorial will go into specifics with the actual build mode tools. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get onto a build site that you can build on. Now, if you're new to the game and on the Pioneer landscapes, you have one automatically placed for you. If you don't have one, you can go to any one of the landscapes, pick some terrain that's not claimed, and place it using a flag that's in your bag. Once you have it placed, you'll see these little borders pop up around your claim that'll indicate you're within a build site area, and then you can start building stuff. Now, different than the normal user interface when you're out and adventuring, you're going to notice it adds this little bar up in the top right-hand corner that pops out of the build mode toggle. It'll give you things like switch to play mode, a few camera options, as well as basic features like undo, redo, and grid lock. Now, hotkeys are useful, so you probably won't pay too much attention to that menu feature up top once you learn the hotkeys. Just keep in mind that's how you know you can build or mess around in any particular location, or have at least some sort of interactivity. Now, you can click on this button here in the corner, as I said earlier, to toggle build mode, or you can use the hotkey tab. I prefer using the hotkeys, it's just a little quicker. Once your build mode tab pops open, you get the Mega Palette interface, which is this thing here on the bottom. It defaults to your build designs that you can see that are stored. You're going to have some default ones set up, and as you create them, they're going to populate, and you're going to get more. So the first one that looks like this little icon here, like a house, it says designs. Your design tab is going to show you those things that you can essentially paste into the environment. Some will be highlighted, some won't. If they're not highlighted, you have insufficient materials or you're missing something in order to place that. The next one over here on the left hand side is the prop menu, which is basically how you're going to start placing pretty much anything really cool other than blocks into your actual build. Like, for instance, Angry Dude is under the prop menu. If you go down to where it has your creatures tab, you can see either all creatures or separate them by type of creature. We're going to go to monsters here, and you'll see all the various things that'll tell me what I can put down. And that's pretty much all your props you're going to be able to do that with. If you hit see all, you're going to have a huge pile. We're going to expand here just so you can see more. On the right hand side there's an up and down arrow. The up arrow obviously makes it move up, and the down arrow makes it move down. So you can see there's a large selection of props, and I don't have all of them unlocked. But this little barrel on the side, props. The next feature here is the tints pane. I'm going to shrink this down with the down arrow, as I just demonstrated earlier with the up arrow. Down arrow is reverse. I have a door over here that is not this color by default. However, I had previously decorated it with this pink tint. Now, if I want to tint it a different color, for instance, we want to go to, say, green. We select the green tint. We've now done that. We click on it, and I can tint the door a different way. So that way you can actually get a lot of variation with the same prop just by doing color changes. And if you want to erase it, you got that little option there. Now it is the default color because I got none. Alright, and the next tab here is the actual build mode tab. It's the one that looks like the little 3 cubes with a little empty cube right next to it. This is how you're going to do the primary part of your building in terms of anything to manipulate blocks. Blocks being all this massive, gigantic pile of stuff here. While it looks like it's pretty much pre-made shapes, that's because I have taken blocks and already manipulated them to do stuff. For instance, we have some blocks here that have been manipulated so they rise up a little bit more than the basic plane of that floor. And that kind of manipulation is all going to be done on this particular setup here, which is the build tool palette. You have your tools in the lower corner here, your primitives right next to them, and then you have your material selection all here on the center portion. And on the right hand side, once you select a tool, you'll have features, what you can do with them, the little hotkeys, and what they are pop up there. For instance, with the add tool, once I have that selected, I can do translate, rotate, scale, and change all the various things by using those features down there. And that's pretty much build mode in the short. Ooh, actually it's not. For the fun part, when you're messing with the cameras, you can now fly. And you can have fun with that. But there's also like freeform camera mode, flying camera mode, where you're leaving the position of where your character is. Each person's going to have their own particular favorite as to what they're going to use. I myself personally am a fan of flying because it just makes me feel like Superman, and who doesn't want to do that? Alright, and that's pretty much it. So Don't forget to have fun building in Landmark, and stay tuned for additional tutorials on basics for the actual build tools. That'll be coming up at a later date. Thanks a lot.